What's up, guys? Welcome back to DBO. It's another M60 day, so today I'm doing brakes, and originally I was going to go ahead and we had this super cool idea for a bracket system, to keep the booster and move it underneath the dash. That only works in left-hand or right-hand drive cars, so no go on that, but we've got the Wilwood boosterless set up, so I'm going to go ahead and assemble the whole pedal assembly here, and then hopefully throw it in the car. And Garagistic, I got their bracket too. They said that you have to have the non-airbag steering column. I didn't believe them. Spent the last 2 days trying to make it work with the airbag column and ended up swapping in the non-airbag column. So you kind of got to do it. The bracket and the pedal assembly, when it's in the car, hits the steering joint of the airbag steering column. So you actually absolutely have to use the non-airbag column. But anyways, let's get to it. I'm going to throw these pedals together and hopefully we'll get it in the car by the end of today. Alright, it's been like two and a half hours longer. What I ran into as far as an issue goes is this whole balance bar system being, I think I was overthinking it. So essentially these clevis are supposed to thread into either side. I'm thinking this is going to be my front master and this is going to be my rear master. And so the way the balance bar is set up, apparently Wilwood ships it pretty much traditional, so like whatever the brake bias is, but front leaning. I was kind of freaked out and I was like, well, I push on the brake pedal and this side goes, the rear master goes a lot further first than the front master. So I did a bunch of reading and whatnot, and it sounds like under load it's going to act differently, especially because this, and again, it's that there's more thread from the spherical ball on this side than there is on this side, so that's what the actual change comes from in the balance bar. And I was like freaking out. I couldn't figure out how to adjust the balance bar or anything like that, and this is kind of a lock nut that they include for the balance bar, so I took that off and I still couldn't get it to turn. And then in the Wilwood video, the guy explains that there's also this thing right here, which basically goes into the detent on the balance bar itself and locks it in. So I have 2 locks instead of 1, which is whatever, I guess. But also I was thinking it might be a good move to get an adjustment on the fly knob, just so that way I don't have to freak out about this, and when it's on the bracket itself as well. Either way, I'm going to mount this now to here, and hopefully the order of operations is right and I don't have to take it back off and then put it together up there, under there, but we'll find out how it goes. So keep watching, we're making it. Alright, welcome to the E30 interior. Pretty stripped, so adding to the 3-week deadline, I've got to assemble an entire engine bay and an entire interior, because why not more work? But anyways, enjoy watching me install these pedals, which is confined. I've got all my tools here, got some hardware laying around, so hopefully we can make it work and it should be done pretty soon. I might go get a flashlight though. I got the first bolt in, and according to the Garagistic video installing this, you want to leave it loose, but there's no way. Holy crap. I can also see there's a master that's like super friendly with that steering column, which doesn't seem too kosher as far as things are concerned. Alright, I got that one tightened all the way up. Hopefully I should be able to push this one through. It never fit to begin with. It's so sick when the hole is too big for the stock hardware that it's supposed to utilize. Even in the Garagistic video, they had the guy using aftermarket hardware and he said, use the stock hardware. I think there's a reason you didn't use the stock hardware in that video, guy. Alright, so now it's the 3 bolts that go on the back, and then there's that sandwich plate, which is just super neat. But I don't know, I found a drill bit. It fit in the 21/64 drill bit size, so in theory it's the right one. But the cool thing is I got the pedals in, and I'm realizing how much of a mistake that was. Definitely, if you're doing this, I'm lazy now, so I'm not gonna like redo it. Definitely take out the pedals, install the bracket, install the pedals, and then you're chilling. But anyways, here we are. So I'm gonna go ahead and try and reach up to the center hole, which is my template hole, and then I get that one in, get the sandwich plate on, and then I can just drill them out and it should be fine in theory. But we're doing this sketch mode, so we're gonna see how it goes. Okay. Alright, I'm going sketch on this one. I'm just gonna eyeball it from the outside, see how we do. You know, stonk style. If I keep going, I'm gonna be the guy that just sketches out everything. So I'm gonna stop here, and then I need friends to help me feed bolts and stuff through. But it's coming along, it looks kind of okay, and I'm tired and this sucks. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, it's been a few days, but we got her in, and I basically went and cleaned up the wiring harness. I pulled the bracket and the pedals back out, drilled out the holes in the pedal bracket, because they were just too small for the stock hardware and the hardware included. And then I went ahead and got the sandwich plate done. That's what I left you guys on, so I'll show you how that looks real quick. I think it looks pretty good. Nice and clean in there. And then that's about it. Got the pedals in. I had an issue with the clevis fork. I'm pretty sure I talked about that. But as you can see, these guys are in. They look pretty nice. I went ahead and zip tied up all the wires and made everything nice and pretty. There's no airbags or ABS in this car anymore, so it's a bona fide death trap. But these go ahead and work pretty good. And I guess the next thing for me to do is throw in the carpet, and we've got to figure out, I think we need some 90s here, here, and here. Throw them up through the firewall and into the brake lines. So it's looking good, and it's just the interior that's got to go back together. As far as the inside, I've got some sub-wiring and power lines and stuff for the amp to go through, and Chris is helping me on that because he knows way more. But this car looks like that guy who just spent his entire paycheck, guilty, on wheels and tires. So here's what it looks like right now. Is that not just minty? And then we've got the sweetest front valence you could ever imagine, and on this side, oh yeah, all the body matched panels. Everything's looking good. But no, seriously, the headlights are in. That's all good. I was figuring out routing as far as this goes. Did some zip tie action through there. I need to get that guy into the valence as well. Brake lines, you guys are going to see what happens with that in the next video. And then we got to get headlights in. These were originally set up for HIDs by the previous owner, and then I threw away the ballast, which was a smart move. So I have to buy some more. But all in all, she's coming together slowly but surely. And I'll keep you guys updated with the next video. But for now, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys soon.